Oh yeah, let's continue. Continue the investigation. Where were we? Oh yeah. Talk to these guys. I need more pens.
The clowns are still hanging around. What is it now?
What is it now?
Again? Seriously, man. Fine. Fire away.
I think I know her.
You don't know her. Good boy.
Alright.
Yeah. What? Fuck! I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
Damn. Angry boy.
For the record, Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind. You have no idea.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't fucking trust you.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch. You know the type. She's fucked up.
This is a diversion. Stay on track.
What are you talking about?
She wasn't raped. The witnesses' statements were very clear.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to push her. And you went.
I didn't push anything.
I am gonna fucking
Hit you. Duck.
Titus Hardy. Everett personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you, Titus Hardy, are going to be buried. Am I understood?
When she's angry, she emphasizes the S. It gives her voice a strangely hypnotic quality. Her lips barely move as she speaks. Someone has to rush in to break the tension. The second in command.
Look, Copper. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape.
What?
Show it to him, T. What's the harm, right?
Here, jerkwad. Listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me the soldier of the apocalypse was an innocent man.
This is their last play, this tape. Their story is in tatters, a mess. It might be nice to listen to, but at this point, you don't need to.
Why should I care about the tape? Where did you get this?
You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people. There's no university degree for that.
Actually, there are a few. Crypto analyst, radio officer.
Well, actually...
Yeah, Yeah, like you have one, smart ass. We have machines. We're in logistics. How do you think a harbor works? It's advanced stuff.
Understood? You've listened in on their communications. How long?
Since way before their chief started taking swing lessons.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
Which one of you is doing this advanced radio work?
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day, writing down what they say. It gets hot as hell in there.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff. Indexes and shit.
Why should I care about the tape?
You don't care about evidence. The fuck are you a cop for, then?
Pigs, T. They don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting convictions. They are fucking keeping a score on their bulletin boards.
I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about.
There's a lot of questions. If you ask them now, they'll just keep bringing up the tape. Listen to it, and they'll have nothing to hide behind.
Okay. What's on this tape?
What's on it? We call it the door gun a mega mix. You'll know why once you listen to it.
Now that is intriguing. You had me at door gunner. A door gun is a gun mounted to the door of a transport airship. They have a habit of mowing down civilians. Farmers mostly.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardy.
Sure.
You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday.
Tape. Let's go upstairs and Elysium.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader.
Play.
You push command set, and the tape starts spinning. Violent static and machine sounds fill the air.
This isn't Revachol. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
The harbor. That's the son of a Kvalson crane.
Alright.
He's right.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the Apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice room. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally.
He's done, so...
I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance a whore upstairs. Do it Kohoi style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
Alright.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arete on your porter reel. The tape stops spinning.
What was that at the very end?
End of recording.
What do you think?
It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls.
He also sounded inebriated.
Still.
Who's this Korty?
Korty could be short for Kortenar, one of the other mercenaries, the one he was talking to. The third one must be relaying the signal.
What's Kohoi?
A village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about.
The South Safre conflict is an ongoing proxy war between Grad and Safre. It has been hot for 12 years, with the atrocities piling on, mostly committed by the Grad.
You think he was there?
Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. We would need to know the story of this man's service.
A symbol of soldier of the apocalypse style conduct in a civil environment.
Okay. What now?
I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony, at least to some degree.
Alright. Let's ask some questions. Do I want to remove something? Let's forget that one. What I want to learn. Actual art degree. Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center. You are one sorry piece of shit. Self-critique. Let's learn self-critique.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Okay, was a recording.
She puts her coffee cup down with a soft ring as the porcelain meets the metal table.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bad to me.
She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused.
He specifically identifies you as the target.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via the encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style?
Something to that effect, yes. Those are the exact words he used.
Yeah. That was practically his pickup line. Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style?
Kohoi was mentioned.
He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his everything.
Why say things like that? Do you think he was trying to scare people?
No. I'm pretty sure he did all those things. And then had to internalize them to keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for?
Coping mechanism?
Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezut all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower.
What? Weren't you afraid?
Afraid of what? That tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Your mother probably never told you this, but girls are evil. Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Kohoi. I would be tearing it up Soldier of the Apocalypse style.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? He and Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
Right.
What kind of man was he? Before you go, ask for details. She seems okay to talk about it.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Can you tell us more about the victim?
Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use.
Lelystad. That's a good start. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations, recorded neatly in blue ink. Everything left to be clarified is in the column on the left.
Where is the place Lelystad?
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
The Lelystad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agricultural plots near the border of Gottvol. Executive summary: cows, silos, and wheat.
Rural area.
Oranje? Oranje's map of waterways? This fits with his tattoo.
Ah, okay.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form.
You're both from Orania?
Yes, we were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No, he was too old for that. And from another part of Oranien Rek. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
No love for Mother Aranye. But wasn't he a soldier? This could be worth pursuing.
A military man, but not a patriot.
No. He left the National Service after they taught him to do what he did on Seminine. He wasn't the flag-waving kind. He was the making money, killing people kind. He was by no means a stupid man. A people person. A small platoon leader. Certainly not a patriot.
You don't seem like much of a patriot yourself.
Mm-hmm. There is nothing on Muindi. The old world is dead, and we both know it.
Too sweet to be sour.
Think about
Maybe
it.
Oranje
like a
did
monkey.
bring us together.
Sky's the limit.
Thank you, and
Space
welcome.
is the place.
I love Revachol, though. I hope she loves me too.
Okay, and how old was he?
He was 42.
42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no, we even celebrated his birthday like some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
Looks like you were right, officer.
Okay.
Points are good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die.
Better not to mention it.
The young woman looks at you, then
eyes?
the lieutenant.
Blue. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies, you know? It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an
Fucked up
injustice.
face.
He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone.
And the tattoo, what did it mean?
Oh, that.
Was it an Orange's map of waterways?
Sure, waterways. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though.
How so?
How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason.
Is this Oranese lit?
Is there also an Orange's lit?
Yes. This is the very essence of Oranese lit. A moment's respite. Dark and hopeless as the struggle itself. He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star. Port after port. Third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them.
You were the woman on this.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell us precisely what this means?
No, thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Orania needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money.
Grotesque killer.
He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people on the Seminine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself.
Not a very fun story.
It is when you're high. It can be very exciting then. You have the tools to deal with it. It's not a very nice story to remember when you're sober. A change of topic?
We ordered a toxicology report. Any idea what that will show us?
A real rainbow splattering of pharmaceuticals, I bet. Barbiturates, amphetamine, sildenafil. How much does the toxicology report cost the police of Revachol? I can do it for half of that. Save you some money, make some myself.
It's quite expensive, miss. But we'll manage without your help for now.
I think we're finished with the line of questioning.
Alright.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee.
Not my favorite topic, but okay. How about we... Yeah? Alright.
Okay, that's it for now.
Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42?
I think what she said, yes.
Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years old?
Where is this going?
How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder? You could ask either one of them.
How old do you think I am?
Huh?
How old do I look?
How old? 58?
That's really old, really?
You asked.
Maybe you're wrong.
He was deceased. He had been decomposing for a week.
I feel like I've been decomposing for longer than that.
On the bright side, you've been getting a lot of exercise lately.
The ravages of Al Ghul are nearly as extreme as that of death itself.
There's silence. Then a little more.
Sure, you're 42. Let's go?
Wait. This requires scientific measurements.
Scientific measurements. Bring it on. I'm not afraid of the truth.
To the laboratorium.
Date of birth generator. Shit. I can't forget. Anything lootable here? Nope. Back to Titus.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
I'm not wasting anyone's time.
The clowns are still hanging around. What is it now?
So, about the tape.
And
And nothing.
that fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape.
That fucker wasn't aimed at you. It was at her.
Gold? It was just locker room talk. Not evidence. Dark stuff, but didn't prove anything.
Dark. Dark is when you start a goddamn death rock band. He said he'd rape her. What did she have to say then? Fine by her? This is what people are supposed to be like? Fucking whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo. She definitely wasn't scared. She would like to be a little door gunner herself if she could. Didn't come as a surprise.
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Funny? No good goddamn psycho whore. Alright. All fucking righty then. I guess it's good then. That fucking...
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawman?
You don't have to say everything out loud. Just mix and match.
Wrap this up. Maybe she isn't who you thought she was.
Nah. I know her. She's just a girl. In over her head.
You don't know? She's a model, she won a pageant. Beauty pageant. She handled the mercenary.
Handled him? She got into some stupid shit with that guy. Shit we had to take care of.
Yes, we heard all about it, and the fact still stands. You were more disturbed by the tape than her.
Wrap this up.
Nah. I know her.
She's a model.
She's just a girl.
She's a
In over
hardcore
her
party
head.
girl.
Yeah. You're right about that. She takes way too many drugs.
Well, it's as they say. You can't do anything with an underdose.
Yeah, underdose isn't an actual word.
Yeah, but I mean, she has an actual drug problem. Not like you. Not like us. I don't think I've ever seen her sober.
Okay, wrap this up.
I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
The man is slowing down. Looks like a bad blood sugar crash. He can't keep track of all the variables anymore. Who could? It's getting harder and harder to perform one's part in this sordid play. All it takes is a nudge.
Come on, Titus. We know you didn't hang him. He was shot. I know you're tired. So am I. Why don't you just...
You know what? I am tired. I'm tired of you and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her Titus said, "Fuck on!" That lying, scamming. We're done. This is over. You understand? Your little investigation is over.
What's she gonna do?
Yeah.
On the floor, beer drips out of the can into a small puddle. No one does anything about it.
What is this quiet funeral shit? What we need is some beers in us. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union.
20 beers.
Why do we make it 40, huh? Why do we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough.
100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
Se... Rhetoric. Can I boost it? You may retry it. Fuck it, let's do it.
Klausing is playing them like a fiddle. Tell them how bad they got played, and they'll tell you the truth. There are many ways to go about it. All of them really good.
I'm gonna need your gun again. Okay, man, it's clear you're being played like a fiddle.
No, we fucking ain't, asshole. No one's fiddling anyone in here.
No, Glenn. I want to hear this. Who do you think is fucking fiddling me?
The hunter becomes the hunter.
The hunter becomes the hunter? A little tip for you, cop. The next time you try to fuck with someone's head, make sure you're not fucked there yourself.
I don't understand what happened. Why did you say that? I didn't tell you to say that. Put the fiddle down and never go off script like that again.
Put the fiddle down. Shit. Okay, I need a rhetoric.
Hey, was there something you needed?
Well. Bringing in that new bird sure made a difference in his attitude.
Again? I can't...
Now what? We need 1 point in rhetoric. Few more experience points. What about the victim's armor?
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Yes, I got the mercenary's name and a few biographical details. Are you ready?
Yes.
The lieutenant leans in to listen.
I was born ready, baby.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese citizen named Ellis Kortenaer. That's E-L-L-I-S Kortenaer. Exact date of birth, unknown. He was signed into the Lelystad County Neonatal Care Unit on 28th of February, 09. He was found as a newborn in a leaf compactor near an abandoned farm. He spent 4 months in the neonatal unit, survived apparently, and was assigned to a foster family at 2. This is what the ICP knows about him. He was raised by foster parents, entered the East Brand Military Academy in Vredefort at 17, then served in the Oranese forces till he was honorably discharged in 41, just a year before the Seminese conflict. Then the armor followed him to Seminine, or at least I assume it did. And that's it. There are no records of his employment in Crenel, or any of its other incarnations, or him even entering Revachol.
Okay. So all we have to connect him to Crenel is the armor.
Even that is a small miracle. These organizations usually double-check their inventory. Thank you, Alice. Great work.
No problem, Lieutenant.
Any information on his foster parents?
None, officer. Sorry.
Okay. Wait, he was found in a leaf compactor?
It's a garden tool used to press leaves into these cubes. It's a detail the hospital had, the only detail in these files. So I thought it would be good for you to know.
It is. Thank you, Alice.
Okay. Move on.
The name. This is very good. Elise Cortenard.
Skill point.
I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. 57, over.
In the cabin, you see.
I got a level. Where's a rhetoric? Let's put one in there. So we unlock the challenge. Then we put on some rhetoric clothes. If I have any. None. Let's try again.
It's you again. What is it?
Well, I'll tell you what's up.
Convince Titus he's being manipulated. Bad idea. Bringing her up will do no good. You should know by now. Titus will never falter. But you know someone who might.
One of the boys will. That's it then, case closed. We're going home.
Fat Angus.
Fat Angus.
The powerful guy. Mr. All Muscle. The time has come. Put him in the pressure cooker. Just remember, it's about more than Glasia. It's about these men and Martinez. Their district. Their responsibility.
That's it then.
Huh? He'll get it. Go on.
Write down, Kim. In Martinez, they just kill you because they don't like you.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because
you work for the wrong people, because they like killing, because you're a foreigner, because of some chick. Because you work for the wrong people.
Goddamn right. This is Union Town. You work for the company, we will kill you.
Fuck, Dennis. We don't kill you if you work for the company. Half the harbor works for the company.
work for the wrong company and they execute you.
They just hang you like in the Dark Ages. They just hang you, shoot you, whatever. They can't even remember. Light you on fire, they don't care.
We didn't light him on fire.
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
Ah,
Firearm.
tough guy.
A Glass 08 or a 38 caliber pistol. either is small enough for you to have missed. He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do.
For no fucking reason. In this bar for nothing. Look at Kim first.
The lieutenant has put down his notebook. His hand is resting on his holster. He gives you an imperceptible nod. What? What does that mean?
We're going for Agnus.
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
Shut up, Angus!
He was dead before you hanged him.
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control. ENG, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus?
Damn.
Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
You're in. He's all yours. Questions?
We did it. So you didn't kill him. He was already dead.
He nods.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. The bullet in his head.
Another nod.
Why?
'Cause the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Girls plural? There's another
The
girl.
waiter who
Two of them.
fled.
Take note of this. They'll probably say more about her later.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
What happened Sunday night?
Classier came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died.
How did you know?
I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus. We went upstairs. Sure as day the merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere.
Just like my room.
He means they'd been fucking.
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse we hanged.
Who's Tibbs, the 8th Hardy?
Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
Tibbs. That's short for...
Tiberius?
Yeah. Good man.
Bet their father's named Atticus Hardy. Lucretia Hardy would be their sister. Anyway.
If Glaser didn't kill him, why the cover up?
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own.
What kind of shit are we talking about?
That can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her. From the old world. Where she came from.
Who are they?
They're powerful. Connected to the Moral Intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
That's all he knows. That's all she's told him.
Okay.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing.
So who killed America? Any leads?
Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue.
How did the bullet end up in his mouth then? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his.
Okay.
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Klausya. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe it was meant for her.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
And you had ideas about his past too?
I do. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, training, years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell. Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
These theories, not bad. Don't buy either one, but still, this guy's not as dumb as he looks.
Okay, whose idea was to hang him?
In a manner of speaking.
Remember the two girls? He may be talking about the other one.
Was this the other girl?
That's right. It was her idea to hang him. I liked it for political reasons. It sent a good message.
It's her, isn't it? The missing 8 Hardy.
The big guy turns to Glenn, who's about to say something. The blonde shuts his mouth before a word escapes.
I'll say it again. All the Hardy Boys are right here, cop. That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her, anyway.
Okay. It's okay for there to be a Hardy girl, Titus.
We're Hardy Boys, and that's it.
What about a name?
Nope. You're not getting to her. It's Klausya you want to talk to.
Okay. I'm sorry I made you guys fight.
Me too.
We did it.
The lieutenant gives a smile only you can see.
Thanks. Thank you for this, Titus.
You do that. Hey, cop. Before you go, Klausya, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection. But
you would still prefer if we didn't take her away.
that's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers.
We'll take that into account.
Again? I can't believe this shit. Okay, why not? Let's do the old thing over again. We're not wasting time. There, I get it, okay. But what is the motive?
To cover up something?
That would be my first guess, yes. I don't know. Why are you? Oh my god, there's more.
Okay, now what? Okay. Confront Glacia.
It's always good to see you.
Volition low. The Hardy Boys told us what really happened.
I understand.
Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched, her feet long and straight.
You were expecting this.
I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two. Then move on to questions. Is it? Something is off here. Shush, I can't hear what she's saying.
If you knew we would find out eventually, why did you waste our time?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
That's not a good enough reason.
You're right. There's more.
More?
You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon, golden grey in the noonlight.
What lies beyond?
The Pearl, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, and then Oranje, the old world.
You're afraid of the moral intern?
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
What did you do?
Just business. But bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will...
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Fucked? People after her? Moral intern people? This isn't Orani's lit. Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her.
Why did you call the cops if we were hiding?
Because I'm an idiot.
Which is an indicator of truth. Idiot. She's nothing of the sort.
So you would have us believe, but you're not.
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him.
Her jaw is clenched. Her throat moves. It takes all her strength not to cave in and sob. Once. Just one time.
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravishol.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible.
Okay. What happened here the night he died?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
What exactly happened?
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open, dumb. I could see. I could.
Her chest rises and falls with each word.
Yikes.
She keeps herself together and says it.
I knew he was dead before he fell down on top of me.
Then what happened?
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
Her cigarette miss.
Oh.
I'm sorry this happened.
So am I.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Titus said you looked pretty high.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No.
What did you do then?
Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot. Just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore. So I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
Did you hear a gunshot?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
Okay. What happened after you ran downstairs?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ah, is Ruby the 8th Hardy?
Ruby?
Who is Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
Leader of the Hardys?
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys.
I thought Hardy has the... I thought Hardy was the leader of Hardy Boys.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
Okay.
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death?
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does.
Then what did you do?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely. in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
What did you do while they were hanging him?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did.
Where is Ruby now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later.
What did you do to have these people after you?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Ravishol, or even in Orania.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage.
Spy.
I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Lewsdoen County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lewscop conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them.
Alright.
As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too. Along with Lewscop and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Loscap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products.
Papalolo.
Yeah. Papa fucking Lolo wants to kill me.
I'm sure there are people who have done much worse than that.
Sure. I'm not a war criminal, but it was bad. People lost their jobs. Good people, too, not just C-suite. A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
Could the people after you have killed him?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break. I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
Probably didn't.
Or I don't know anything anymore. All I do is wait here.
We can't go after Lewscap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there.
When was the window changed?
Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there. Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
Okay, I think we're done here.
She nods, silently. He's thinking, are we done here? Or... This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are 2 neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed.
Continue.
A 2-hearted spider.
What position are they in?
Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired.
Continua.
The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth, a ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain.
Where did it come from?
From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back.
Have a look at the point A.
The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points.
Shouldn't there be gun residue outside?
There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago.
So I'm that 80% sure that roof is where the shot was made from.
72%, with an antique weapon that fires military-grade ammunition. A Belmagrave rifle, for example. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot.
Okay.
The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium, a well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies.
Inside the room?
Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, Detective.
Are there any arguments against A prime, the roof?
None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
Okay. Any other point of origin?
That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez?
Costly figures.
The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization.
Okay, what about the other locations?
According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime.
More precisely?
B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, Detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on.
Okay. What about the boardwalk?
700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account.
Okay. About Land's End.
1.2 kilometers away. The least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it. Possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched.
Okay. What about the islet?
1 kilometer away. A point beyond the docks, on an islet in the bay. The fort is ruined, but the perpetrator may have found a stable spot on the beaches surrounding it, where the concrete crumbles into the sea, as you saw in the coin-operated viewer.
Okay.
The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
Okay. What about Kim? What do you
From
think?
where, precisely? I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance?
Much less than the roof, but still.
Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one.
Alright.
It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof.
Let's find a
A
sniper
simple
position.
hypothesis can be wrong, but it's something to build on.
Can we find anything up there?
The same small, heavy door. No lock.
Physical instrument. No chance. Make täytyisi give up Ruby's position, location.
It's you again. What is it?
I know about the Ruby. Spill the beans.
Why?
Because she's your real leader. She's the next link in the chain that leads me to Lily's killer.
Sounds like you're making her a suspect in this. Not on my watch, you're not. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit.
And fuck you too, moral
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now?
No can do.
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
From the corner of your eye, you see a little bird fly into the bush.
Logic.
Right behind the window, behind Titus's back.
Logic 6 and low. Okay.
It's you again. What is it?
How big is it now? 83. Fuck it, let's go.
A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought.
Why are you so sure Ruby didn't off him?
Because she was here, all night, with us.
He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101.
She was here all night? 11:30 to 12:15? She was here during all that time?
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
Didn't go to the toilet?
No.
That's a lie.
You know that's not the case.
All right. She took a fucking leak, okay? for one moment. Maybe went out too. She has a complex operation to run from her lorry. She's a busy girl. Always has been.
This complex operation is probably something illegal.
Okay.
Just because she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot the merc. I've been through this. It's not plausible.
He's been through it. That means he's suspected her too. All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof.
Okay. You do agree the shot came from the roof, alright?
Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Clausia's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martinez. Maybe from the coast. But like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So no, I don't think it was a sniper. It was close up.
72% from the roof.
72%. There's a percentage and all. Where'd you get it from? Your guys in the lab?
Definitely lie. The truth is not credible.
I analyzed it on the spot. Turns out I can do that. We consult in case like, oh yes.
Wouldn't hurt to have one of those in Martinez. Still, all the labs in the world don't put her on that roof. How'd she get there? Climb?
From somewhere inside the building.
Nah, the only way up there is through Clausia's room.
There is a door. Maybe there's more.
What do you mean?
How much do you guys know about this place?
We've only been drinking here for what? 6 years? How much do we know?
Been thinking of getting wilding in rags. That is on my ass, boss.
There you go. Tatted on his ass.
There's a locked room in the kitchen. Even ever been through those?
No, but that doesn't prove anything.
Aha!
It's just 2 dolls. We're not giving you Ruby for that. She's one of us.
What if those 2 doors are connected, Eugene? Is that your name, Eugene? If they are connected, she could have gone to the kitchen, gone up, shot him on the roof, then come down. All in 5 minutes. How about that?
How about that?
Yes, she could have. This is one long shot.
Have you noticed the wind shot back?
All right, I'll play alone. Those 2 doors of yours, the winch connects them with some kind of dumb waiter.
What winch? Where's the winch?
On the side of the building. You can see it from the harbor. You want to be a lieutenant, you gotta keep your eyes peeled.
I've seen the winch.
Fuck off, man.
A skilled sambo artist could have climbed out the outer one like a spider.
Garbage. It wasn't a Sambo artist call. I've been doing this for 10 years. Let me give you a lesson. Boys.
It's never a Sambo fighter, and it's never a bullet-bending sniper.
Or ghost. It's never a ghost either. Don't worry, we've got better than that.
Okay. We have firmly established Ruby could have had access to the roof where the man was shot.
Firmly? Try shit on a stick. All you've established is a possible route to the roof that you haven't found. And even then, a route doesn't put that bullet in the Burke's head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one.
Phase 2, murder weapon.
Murder weapon.
Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt. In the shape of a gun.
Okay.
Just don't contradict yourself. If it doesn't sound like Ruby did it, maybe keep it to yourself. But what if you miss interesting information that way? The choice is ultimately yours. But
I have analyzed the bullet.
So
it had to come from a breech-loading rifle. Military grade. Not even you militia monkeys have those. This goes against your short-range theory. If the murder weapon was military grade, how did Ruby get it?
Just because it's rare doesn't mean you can't get it.
Cobb. That's exactly what it means.
That wasn't strong.
Oh no. Anyone could have a gun around here. Anyone.
Look, fucko. Ruby and I are pretty tight. She would have showed me the gun if she had one. She knows I love guns.
yeah, everyone knows Glenn loves guns.
I don't know, Glenny. Ruby's a little secretive, isn't she? Wasn't like she told you every little thing.
Look who's finally speaking. Ratty's been uncharacteristically quiet since you started theorizing. Maybe he has something to gain from implicating her.
Okay. Of course she's carrying. Oh, you all are.
Nah. This kind of heat is not easy to come by. It took us some time to get gunned up to where we are now.
Still, he's thinking about it now. And he knows gunning up has nothing to do with
Maybe it was her
this.
who bought my gun.
You lost your gun?
What an idiot!
Tell me, did you lose it before the murder?
Yes. Maybe. Maybe not. But it's a pistol. It's not a military grade weapon.
No, you didn't. And Ruby didn't use your lost gun to kill him.
Stop thinking about your lost gun, damn it. You'll get a heart attack.
Oh my god.
This was merely a thought exercise. He did not lose his gun. Let's move on.
28% chance that shot came from beyond the roof.
Yes, goddammit, I know what a 72% chance means. It means there's a 28% chance it isn't that. And 28% is no small chance either.
Just making sure we are on the same page. It doesn't all fit. We are just sharing info, candidly.
Okay, move on.
I don't knock up. Why don't you find your lost gun first?
Oh my god.
Easy now, Al. This isn't comedy hour.
Titus, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3. Motive. The last component.
It's why she organized the cover up.
And I suppose you have a theory on that.
Could have just been covering up for herself.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Really, Shanks? Claudia wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Time for a logics demonstration.
Shanky. Let's assume you killed her.
I didn't do it, fucker. It wasn't my plan.
You probably did, though.
It's just a thought experiment. Think, Shanky. You killed him. You got up there, shot him, cut down.
Would you prefer to go on trial with your buddies? As a part of lynch mob?
Fuck you, man. I would never fuck my guys over like that.
She didn't either. She would never do that. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she skipped
Okay.
town.
She's not around.
This is good.
Maybe it's all part of a leadership challenge.
There's no fucking leadership challenge. Just when I thought you were taking this seriously, cop, you put your head in your ass.
Man, now he's just throwing shit against the wall to see what sticks.
Okay. We ruled out infighting. That's how this works, by exclusion. Remember, all we need to do is rule Ruby out too. That's all this is.
Maybe she killed him because she thought it would carry favor with you?
You had expressed, on occasion, your dislike of the mercenaries' presence in Martinez, right?
Whack someone in my district? That doesn't carry much favor with Titus Hardy. She has to know that.
Okay. Move on.
Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner nods. A very small nod. And a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about.
Moving forward.
Ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you want. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However hard I asked. Wanna know why?
Why?
She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior, why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though.
Level up.
She made sure of that.
When did she leave?
Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation.
What was she scared of?
I told you. You.
Personally? As in the RCM?
No, you. As in the cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes.
What? Have I come to declare the ending of the human experiment? I'm sorry. She probably knew me from my singing days. I'm just a normal cop.
Sure. Normal.
Basic cop.
You know, when I first saw you limping here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure.
What did she tell me?
She said
Tell
you
you about
have
me.
a funny taste in clothes and that you won't stop.
Won't stop?
Until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up like cans.
And then when they're all empty, just move on, onto the next can. Don't look back unless there was something you missed.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
Silence. He nods.
Am I a can opener?
You are insistent.
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This cop, Titus, this cop, he... But she was too scared.
Everard has a file on you, but that's bogus. What she knows comes from somewhere else, from Jamrock. It must be real stuff.
Any clues where she went?
She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so...
Can we
she's on foot.
inspect her lorry?
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a Hardy candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn.
Have you looked for her?
A little. On the coast.
Where have you looked for her, more precisely?
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlog. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there.
Alright.
Who's doing this looking? They're all here.
You're all here. Who's out looking?
Lizzie needed some air.
Alright. But she went to tell Everett.
You're a smart cob, but you're a stupid person. No one goes to tell Everard anything. If he has to know, he has to know fast.
It's called a radio, you believe. The gardener may have played you a game when she stormed out. She has her own plan.
Any idea where I'm going to start looking?
Sure, there's some shit houses there. A cinder block town. The fisherfolk there refuse to
brick
unionize.
shit house.
So, that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a Lowry man.
Okay. But it'll do.
It'll have to.
Shake it.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite.
Okay. We need to open these doors.
You see ahead the cobalt blue, old cobalt paint, rough on the fingers. 40, it leads to a side build. The door does not. The man ponders his cooking utensils and he looks up at you. Shrugging is an international sign for no. He looks up at you. Shrugging is an international.
I guess not. What about a manager? Give me a key, please.
Hey, was there something you need? Another thing. Great. I love those. Why? No, fuck it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know why these degenerates do what they do. I thought we had one good guest in the building.
You have Lena. Lena is a good customer.
Yeah, well, she's not a guest, is she?
What? Did someone mention my name?
We were just paying you a compliment. And finding out a degenerate from room 3 nicked the phone line. Everything is okay here. Good thing that guest pays for her stuff on time. I'll forward her the bill and be done with it. Was there anything else? Why? No, fuck it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know
Mr.
why
Zolt.
Yeah, neither do I. Thank you for telling me, I guess. Good things.
Sounds like she has money tucked away somewhere. Enough to be a stable paying guest.
Yes?
Can we loot some money? Maybe not. I need physical instrument. So I can open the door, maybe. And I need clothes with a physical instrument. Something here more?
The tracks are as they have ever been.
Nope.
A bit more warm.
No wonder the cafeteria manager. Well, you did.
So the coast.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards.
Why does she care about the waves so much?
What is with you and those waves?
What is it with waves and fishermen? We need to be out there with them, fishing, making a living. So I asked them to accommodate me.
But until that happens, I can try to assist you the best I can. So, oh,
Boat. Hey, can you take us to the ruin?
I'll just keep the Coeur de Leche in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow near the pier.
Aye, ma'am. And it's a jetty, by the way.
Of course. Jetty. I prefer a good jetty to a pier any day. Jetty?
Something about the way she says it makes you want to sing.
Jetty.
Oh, jetty, oh, jetty. It's good to see you here, detectives. I only just arrived myself.
What brings you here, madame?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate it personally. This cluster of buildings isn't on any of the official maps, as far as I can tell.
That. And she's also keeping an eye on you.
Have you been spying on us?
Spying has such a negative connotation. I did track your progress along the coast, however, and decided I would be better able to assist you from here. Then there's the matter of that little scamp in old lady clothes. She threatened to paint the Coeur de Leche red. Like blood, you see. Well, I like it the way it is. White. How do I like it?
Water drips down eaves of Eternite. The jetty below her feet creaks to the tune. The smell of salt and dog shit in the background.
Nice.
It's pornographically poor. The street has no name. All the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there?
Maybe.
I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your questions while you can.
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez. Dull grey metal rests in her scabbard. A sword. The wind is too loud for her to hear.
Fortunately for you, madame, the RCM is on the scene.
All right. Politics time. Let's react.
This is just how the real city looks.
Oh, I'm not frightened, officer. I'd never... Have I told you how they discovered this place?
This island?
No, the Insulindian Isola.
No.
Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty.
45% is around where I operate.
I knew you would sympathize. Most Revacholians will never know what this place means. Our home. This island of matter. Or why they were ferried over in the first place. Remind me to tell you one day. For now,
Okay.
Godspeed, detective.
Thank you, ma'am.
Let's move on. Let's look up the brick houses. Ah, this guy.
As you approach, The man turns and greets you with a polite wave.
Ah, super. It's the officer. I was not expecting to run into you again, but things have a funny way of turning out, no? What brings you down to the scenic Martinez coast?
What are you doing here?
Well, that's très simple. I was visiting the fishing village just north of here. They have applied for a series of microloans to revitalize the old market. And well, I wish to see the situation firsthand. And then, well, I had some extra time on my hands, so I decided to stroll down here. It's quite peaceful, isn't it?
Did you see all the bullet holes in that wall?
Ah? Is that what those pockmarks are? I might have guessed. Fascinating how much history is contained right here, if only one knows where to look for it. Ah bon? I'm all ears, officer.
I need your help forming committee.
My friend, if it's la responsabilité you're after, I have good news for you. There's no need to form such a committee, because it already exists.
What?
God, of course it does. These moral intern types.
The Comité de Responsabilité de Revachol. It acts as a sort of clearinghouse for coalition activities. To put it simply, they are the ultimate arbiters of la responsabilité in this part of the world.
Yes, this is just the sort of reasonable authority you're looking for.
I would offer to connect you with the committee myself, but alas, I am not actually in Martinez.
What? Where is he then? He's speaking figuratively. He means he's not in Martinez in his official capacity.
You're only here on a personal business.
Précisément. Officially, I am still in La Delta, preparing for an upcoming conference on fuel oil derivatives. That's why it would be extremely irregular, or potentially even inappropriate for me to intercede with the committee concerning a district I'm not officially in.
But this is an urgent matter.
Yes, you've made your persistence quite clear. Under normal circumstances, I would have to insist you go through the regular channels. But if you have information of a vital interest, they might be willing to entertain an exception. In which case, I would advise you to contact them via Coalition Warship Archer.
Why do I need to go through the Archer?
You see, in addition to being an airborne artillery platform, Coalition Warship Archer is also the linchpin of the Coalition's surveillance and communications infrastructure in Revachol.
Okay. Proceed.
This is quite the problem. Very tricky. Of course, the Archer has orders to fire on any unidentified aerostatics that might approach it, so it might be safer to get in touch from the ground. But in that case, you would require a radio transmitter capable of broadcasting on Coalition frequencies. And that kind of technology naturally isn't typically available for non-Coalition use. Yes, it is a bit of a conundrum.
All right.
I suppose there might be some way to circuit bend your way onto those frequencies, but you'd have to be one of those techno-tinkerers to do it.
Aha, the church.
That, my friend, is your responsibility.
Sounds like something that programmer we met in the church might be able to handle.
Yes.
Let me just say that I have complete confidence in the RCM. I'm sure you'll figure something out. Always my pleasure to be of assistance to the RCM.
Bon chance. Hiding place? Could she be hiding? I don't think so. What about this building? Can't get up. A sewer? Ruby.
There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper.
Meters. Long way down.
You pick up the handset. There's a tone. The machine is operable.
Dial a random number.
Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this? End of tone. Someone picks up.
Pierre? Is that you, Pierre?
No, this is not Pierre.
Do you have any news about Pierre?
Who is Pierre?
He's my sister's grandson. He used to visit me as a lad. Fine young man. But who are you then? A salesman of some sort? Modern goods are rubbish, and I can't afford them anyhow. It's a shame what you did to our country.
What exactly did they do to your country?
You ruined it and you sold it to foreigners. You don't own anything if everything is for sale. Give it a thought. Goodbye.
Disconnect tone.
Okay.
The light vanishes inside the concrete slit. The structure goes deep under the earth.
Kim, any idea what's down there?
No idea. Could be connected to one of the buildings around here.
Think we might find Ruby down there?
We might find her down somewhere. There's an old storm drain system beneath Martinez that's mostly collapsed. Revachel's sewage system has been built and rebuilt 4 or 5 times now. In conclusion, she could be under any building. I hope not.
You'll hole into the slit.
There's no echo and no answer.
What's in there?
Maybe it's just a storm drain for the sewer.
Hey. Why is this the thing still rolling? Okay. Continue. Okay, what about this coast? Could she be inside here? But this cannot be opened.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind.
From here to the whirling, I can't see how. The church is in the way.
Okay.
Is there something here that would indicate a sniper used this place as a nest for taking the shot? Just some urban detritus, a bottle, and a dilapidated old comms tower. In the distance you can hear the breakers roar.
I don't see it, Lieutenant W. Freitor. I don't see a person take a shot here and hit something there. In the whirling in rags.
Maybe the campfire was used by the perpetrator.
To warm his hands before pulling the trigger? Perhaps. But anyone could have made this. The coast is specked with fires this time of year. Truthfully, this seems like a very poor choice to take a 1.2 kilometer rifle shot from. Visibility is awful. There's water vapor everywhere. I think we can rule out... Biddable Prime, was it?
Maybe he climbed the comms tower.
It's not possible to climb that ladder. And even if it were, why? There's no platform up there to aim from.
It does look extremely rickety, and wouldn't help much either.
What about the cigarette butts?
Those? A smoking assailant who favors Tumutiri to Astra or Joanne? Cigarette butts are everywhere. This is a common brand for all men.
Tumutiri was a Revacholian colony on Ilmaran. The Suzerainties population was mostly Ilmaran Areopagites, up to 97%. The region was known for its tobacco export, hence the name.
Enough, the cigarettes are not important.
Nothing is unimportant, detective. There, 1.2 kilometers over the cold water of the bay, blue from the distance and the air, you see the smallest rectangle, barely visible. A glowing light on the third floor of the whirling in rag.
Finish a thought. Okay. Not here. What about the church tower? Everyone's favorite sniping position. You should walk here, not run. What is that? Spider web. Where's the crab man? Let me ask him.
Yes, what is it? What? No, no one's suspicious around here.
She has not seen her, sire. 'Tis true.
I wasn't kidding earlier about contacting Coalition Warship Archer. Can you help me?
You're asking me to circuit bend onto coalition radio frequencies. You want to know is it possible? Probably. But is it a good idea? I'm not so sure. The main difficulty will be finding an antenna powerful enough to reach those frequencies. Unfortunately, you can't exactly buy mega long wave antennas off the shelf.
She's not joking. Even the RCM has to receive special approval from the Coalition to access that kind of equipment.
The radio relay tower at Land's End. Could that work?
I highly doubt it. That tower is barely able to transmit shortwave signals across the bay. To generate megalo frequencies, we're going to need a much larger antenna.
She has an idea, though. You can see the tiny signal lights firing inside her brain.
I don't see any alternative. We're just going to have to build the antenna ourselves.
Okay. Now we're talking.
We need metal, a lot of it. The taller the structure, the better. Something that is both prominent and easily accessible. If it's near a power source, even better.
Conceptualization, okay. Let's boost it a bit. Okay.
Yes, what is it?
97%.
Close your eyes. Unfold your mental map of Martinez. It's morning. You're standing on the plaza before the whirling in rags. Your eye follows the tiles west. You see a bench and a few twisted, pitiful trees. Then, just water. Beyond the unkempt backyard rises a monstrous assemblage of concrete, plaster, and corrugated sheet metal.
What a roundabout.
You turn around. The morning sun is blinding. You bring your hand to your brow, and a great shadow materializes before you. A towering beast, frozen.
Statue of Philippe.
The dead king and his horse. It could work. We'll need an adequate power supply and a great quantity of cable. If we connect the cables to some of the stranded lorries, we could theoretically increase the antenna's wavelength exponentially.
Whatever ambivalence she had about your project before, she's now fully engaged in solving this technical puzzle.
It's completely ridiculous, but I believe we could transform the entire roundabout into one solid fractal antenna.
A note of awe in her voice. She's shocked and pleased by her own audacity.
I feel like I'm going to need to apologize to someone.
If you would like to apologize, that is your business. I'm only here to tell you what's feasible or not from a technical viewpoint. I have plenty of cables and amplifiers on hand. The power supply, I will secure on my own. All we require now is the radio transceiver itself.
Where am I supposed to find a radio transceiver?
I cannot answer that for you, but I don't expect it to be that difficult. There's no shortage of radios around here. If you have real to spare, you might even be able to buy one. But it doesn't really matter where it comes from, so long as it works.
And before you ask, no, you can't have the radio from Machinema.
I'll find even better. I think I saw a radio in that office near the harbor.
That sounds like a perfectly adequate radio.
Okay.
In the meantime, I will gather the rest of the materials. We will meet back here when you have it.
Okay. It's harbor office, yes. This is not the harbor office. Wrong place. return our botless?
The tear machines, your bottles clunk into the
60 cents, hell yeah. This thing.
A common office radio, like any of those found in countless waiting rooms, lounges, and other semi-public spaces all over the world.
There's usually a little switch somewhere. Ah yes, it's the one that says release.
The lock disengages with a nice click. You may now safely remove the transceiver
Examine
unit.
the transceiver.
There's nothing obviously remarkable about it. It's about the size of a common pasta box, with knobs of molded plastic. What else is there to say? If this transceiver were a person, it would be an accountant at a large logistics firm. Perfectly competent, but...
Very good. Let's get going, then.
The transceiver appears glad to be of service.
Do you think we are actually able to reach the coalition with this?
You've surprised me more than once during the course of our investigation. But I have to say, it still seems like a remote scenario.
With its transceiver gone, the radio has ceased its persistent buzzing. It is as silent as a headstone.
Okay. Church. I got it.
Yes, what is it? Ah, very good. Let's see what you have. Not the most advanced model, but at least everything appears to be in order. Yes, this should serve our purposes.
Nice.
No further comment necessary.
I believe that means we're ready to get started. I should warn you, once we begin setting up this antenna, we'll need to see the whole process through. There won't be any second chances, any do-overs. You understand?
Yes.
So if there's anything you'd like to get in order before we depart, I suggest you do it now.
I'm ready, let's go.
Very good. If you'll help me with some of this equipment then.
Back across the water lab. At least we are getting our exercise in today.
If you'll please carry that amplifier, officer, and if you'll take that spool of cable, we should be able to move it all in one trip.
What's gonna happen? A lot of cables.
And now if you'll just connect that here...
It's done. I believe we are ready.
We're ready to try at least. Please put on these headphones. There should be 2 extra sets. I've configured the channels so that only your microphone is set to broadcast, officer. We'll all be able to listen, but anyone we reach will only hear your voice. You will need to transmit your connection request while I attempt to locate the warship's public frequency. You will likely encounter some interference, but it's important to keep transmitting your request until you're acknowledged. Ready?
Yes.
Good. Beginning transmission. Go ahead, officer.
This is Hershey offer Tequila Sunset. Please acknowledge. Let's go with the real name.
Is there anybody there? The lieutenant looks up at you with a nervous glance. Nervous for who, though, you cannot say.
Try again, officer.
Perhaps you're simply imagining it, but it seems as though you're learning to pull apart the fibers of this auditory felt. You focus on one strand in particular, one that sounds very nearly human.
Nein, Liebling, das lasse ich nicht zu. Die kannst du unseren Jungen bloß auf einen dieser Dinger nach Bredefort schicken.
Alright.
Marianne, mir erzählt, dass Oscar nicht mehr lebt, seit er auf einem Luftschiff aus Graz zurückgekommen ist. Halten ihn die Psychologen für vollkommen normal. Aber sie hat das Gefühl, seit seiner Rückkehr mit einem Fremden zusammenzuleben.
You can't make out a word of this gibberish.
Keep listening. What does this remind me of?
The rustling of dry autumn leaves, waves breaking at a distance, 1,000 wings beating at once.
Keep listening.
Liebling, bitte. Er ist unser einziges Kind. Er kann auch nächstes Jahr zur Akademie gehen.
Keep trying, officer. We'll get a signal through eventually. Again?
It's gone now.
Don't clock my connection.
I didn't say anything, detective.
What the hell?
Someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
An uncomfortable silence falls over the connection.
It's been a long winter. Long and cold.
Are you going to tell me you didn't say that either?
I promise you I didn't, even though it certainly sounds like me.
I can't say with certainty, but it sounds very much like anthroponetic crosstalk. It happens sometimes when sending transmissions across long stretches of pale.
Ah, yes, of course. That must be it.
Outwardly, they both exude calm, but there's something disturbing about this thought to both of them. Pale, 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 pale. Seems to be missing from your records.
Ah.
Natürlich halten ihn die Psychologen für vollkommen normal.
So what can we do about it?
What else is there to do? Keep trying.
But someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired. Dubois, please acknowledge.
Archer, this is Lieutenant Dubois.
Liebling, bitte. Ist unser einziges Kind.
Where's she Archer? Please identify.
The signals are getting increasingly mixed. Plucking Archer's signal from this will be like isolating a single strand from a tangle of hair.
It's not working. The crosstalk is simply too strong. I did not expect simply locating the signal to be so difficult. We must consider several variables. Local anthroponetic conditions, the sophistication of our transceiver, the quality of our connections, and the physics of our antenna itself.
Alright.
Our transceiver is perfectly capable, so there is no problem there. And we're also unlikely to change our local anthroponetic conditions. So, the next step is to thoroughly inspect our connections.
Okay.
You need to climb up there and look at them for yourself.
Oh my god.
But you don't have the technical expertise.
Someone has been maintaining it.
Something about this setup seems dimly familiar, but you'll be damned if you know what you're supposed to do about it.
But what if I slip and fall?
Then you might break your neck.
Let's do this. I'm gonna die.
Your gloves give you a solid grip on the metal bar. This feels pleasingly familiar. You don't exactly cut a lithesome figure, but after several moments of scrambling, you manage to hoist yourself atop the monument.
Easy.
That performance was frankly an embarrassment.
I hope nobody saw it.
You're doing all right, detective. Just keep your focus on the task at hand.
The connection itself is nothing more than a little braid of exposed wire wrapped about the hoof of the horse. A copper fetter it cannot slip. The whole monument is covered in a thin but durable layer of oil and grime. It's obvious no one has cleaned it in years. If you had something alcoholic, you could dissolve the oils, creating a cleaner and clearer connection.
Okay, pour some alcohol over connection.
It takes a few moments, but the alcohol gradually begins to break down the oils surrounding the copper wiring.
Is this really the time, detective?
It's all right, Lieutenant. He's simply cleaning the connections.
Once the
Having a
oils
little
have been dissolved,
drinky poo.
you wipe off the connections with your sleeve and reattach the cable.
Did that help?
It seems to have made some difference, but unfortunately not enough to alter the overall situation.
Ah.
Unser einziges Kind. Er kann auch nächstes Jahr zur Akademie gehen.
Short of changing the shape of the antenna, I'm not sure what else we can do from here. And the lorries are all jammed together, so that's unlikely to happen.
What would changing the shape of the antenna do?
Ideally, narrow the receiving mode so that we can isolate the worst signal and eliminate the crosstalk. But if you don't know what you're doing, of course you could just make it worse.
Okay.
What do you mean? You adjust the antenna manually, with your hands.
Okay.
I'm afraid we're out of alternatives. You're just going to have to go for it.
She's right. The responsibility is yours,
Interfacing
and yours
godly.
alone. There's no turning back now.
Red check.
You are face to face with Philip III. The Bronze King looks toward the west. Something about his features seems bizarrely distorted. Not intentionally. It's a matter of perspective. The king was never meant to be seen from such an angle as you've attained. This faithful steed is in nearly as poor a condition as its rider. A clear sky. The kind of day where anything might happen.
Do I want to look down?
Across the river, you can see Coalition warship Archer tracing its gradual circuit above Revachol East.
I don't want to look down. Do I have to?
A few of the idle lorry drivers and strikebreakers gesture at you with their cigarettes, more out of curiosity than anything else. From the window of one of the adjacent apartment buildings, an older woman leans out, her heavy breasts sagging. She yells a single word you can't make out, and then shuts the window with a violent thunk.
Okay. I guess we'll do it. And the failure, I guess. Whoopsie. That didn't go as planned.
You allow the broken hunk of metal to clatter to the ground. It wasn't clear to you it did anything anyway.
Nein, Liebling! What are you doing? The connection is even worse now. This is extremely unprofessional.
That piece of junk didn't even work. Not my fault the statue broke.
But it is, because you broke it.
Goddamn.
She's right. This was your responsibility.
Damn it. I'm going to push the power supply. I doubt it will last more than a few minutes, so you'd better make them count.
A maelstrom of sound, swirling and swirling around an invisible point. It's mounting. Mounting.
Nicht mehr derselbe ist, seit auf einem Luftschiff aus Graz zurückgekommen ist.
Lieutenant Dubois, please respond.
It's too much. Your eardrums are throbbing, about to burst.
Oh my god.
A long winter, long and cold.
And then, nothing.
Try it now.
This is Worship Archer. We are acknowledging and accepting you. Though we're still getting quite a bit of interference.
This is the best we can do. I suggest you get to your business quickly. I doubt I'll be able to maintain even this connection very long.
There is so much you wish you could ask, but you probably only have time for one or two questions.
Please be advised that you are speaking on a public frequency. What is your request?
I really need to reach the Committee of Responsibility.
Acknowledge. To reach the committee, all you need to do is fill out the appropriate request form and submit it to the liaison for public affairs. If the liaison accepts your request, you will be invited to address the committee at their next quarterly public hearing. We believe the next hearing is scheduled for July.
Can you patch me through directly?
We're afraid that is quite impossible, Lieutenant Dubois. We cannot transfer you to the committee because we are not entrusted with that responsibility. We are simply the second signal.
Yeah, the real power is higher up.
That is the nature of the command pyramid, yes. Most modern organizations work in a similar way, even the FCM.
This line of argument is quite pointless. You should abandon it.
Empathy 1, 3%. Success.
What part of need to reach the committee doesn't she understand? Time to lay it all out.
We will hear your request, Lieutenant Dubois. Although we must inform you that the committee does not typically intervene in personal matters.
That's only because they haven't heard about your problems yet.
So, you're experiencing acute memory loss. We don't see how this is the committee's business.
Good God, here we go.
We're afraid we don't understand. Are you requesting medical attention?
We are way past that.
Then we are not sure what assistance can be rendered. This is quite beyond the purview of the Committee of Responsibility. Now, please excuse us while we update the receiving frequency. This connection will be cleared in 4...
Quick, hang up on her first.
Please don't go.
2, 1, Après le monde, le gris.
And the line
Oh, no.
goes quiet.
That was useful.
The lieutenant gives a long sigh as he removes his headphones.
I think it's best for you to climb off the statue now, Detective. Your real work is done here.
Yeah, just give me a minute.
The sun-warmed bronze tingles beneath your fingertips and between your thighs. Your legs have grown stiff. You've been up here quite a while. You look around. The strikebreakers are still shouting their slogans and waving their hand-painted signs. Beneath you, the lieutenant and the programmer have begun disconnecting a few cables. There's really no point. You're beginning to feel like the little child who refuses to come down off the carousel.
Climb down.
Good. Now give me a hand with these amplifiers. Leave the cables. I don't feel like making 2 trips.
What's one more trip across the waterlock?
Well, that failed.
Well, this was an interesting collaboration.
What do you think?
You decapitated our antenna. No, I do not think it's a good idea. In any event, just leave that equipment here. I'll put it away later. If you'd like, you can take one of the extra headsets. I don't need so many spares. Now, you'll excuse me. I have to get back to my own work.
Rigorous self-critique.
What is this?
Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right. These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness of your past.
Oh no.
You tried shooting a fleeing suspect in the foot, but hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And, above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you, all the love and patience of your friends, you drowned in a neurotoxin. You let misery win, and it will keep on winning till you die, or overcome it.
All right. Intelligence and physical red check failures heal 1 morale. Red check failures heal 1 health. Okay. Okay. Put physical instruments so I can open the door maybe sometime. Headset. Inland Empire. Reaction speed, okay. Oh, that's the boat. we need to get to the island. Fisherman's shack. Was there a boat here?
Waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down. Simmer down, Oh? Who?
I'm looking for a suspect who might have stayed in this neighborhood.
Okay. When did this person stay here? Oh. I've been out on the sea for most of the past week. The weather's been good for fishing, so I usually start at 4 in the morning. Yes, that's the optimal time. Got to make the most of the calm. I've been sleeping like a corpse after. The sea really takes its toll. Now I'm just waiting for the wind to settle to get out there again. Sorry I couldn't help you out. Maybe I can help you find someone else. Well, how can I assist you then, officer?
What about the babushka? Does she know?
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Have you seen a red-haired woman?
Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately.
Because she's blind, which you seem to have forgotten.
Because you're blind, right?
This is a sharp one.
She's being evasive. She knows something.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect. We would appreciate your help.
Would you now? I know how this world works, and it doesn't work when people tell on each other.
We just need help. Need to help her come out.
No, it's not like that, man. With him, we called you. Right now, you just arrived by yourself, like a raven plucking at the window glass.
You know something, but you've decided not to tell us.
There's not much to tell. People come and go. Now, was there something else?
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway.
You should look around your shack. Maybe she's rented it out to others too.
Okay. Ah, what is this?
As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear one of them isn't quite level with the others. The edge of a floorboard next to it looks scratched.
Move the board.
Hollow space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and sawdust below.
What's in here?
Nothing particular catches your eye. Looks like more reeds. There might be something hidden inside the sand, though.
Search.
You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then, something hard wrapped in paper.
Is it my gun?
A small cylindrical object. You pull it out. A bullet.
Bullet?
A 9mm bullet, to be exact. Fit for all muzzle loaders of that caliber.
This bullet isn't from a breech loader like the murder weapon.
The floorboard isn't interested. Maybe the washerwoman is. You have enough to confront her with. It's extra ammunition. She's locked and loaded, ready to fight some cops.
Alright. Okay, spill the beans, Grandma.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. Damn that girl.
Ah.
And without anger, A long and harsh life has taught her not to buckle under pressure.
A bullet? You didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either.
You rented the room to her.
Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl. As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. We welcome all kinds of people here.
When was this?
She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into, that girl?
That's for the police to find out. Right then, please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
You said she left on Monday.
Yes, early with the dogs, around 8 o'clock, I think.
She probably heard the Lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you.
She must have heard your Kinema.
Yes. That is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you are coming.
Is the room exactly as she left it?
I cleaned it, like I always do.
Is there anything else there?
No.
The truth, sire.
What is she like?
She's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation. So I really appreciate that about her.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time. Kept to herself.
What do you mean?
She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room.
Why do you think she left the bullet there?
How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
Okay, where did she go?
I don't know. Further up the coast. She tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screeched like a cat in heat. Woke me up. I heard her rushing in those heavy boots, heading up north.
It's a peninsula. She might be trapped.
Okay.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her hand. You only just arrived.
I wouldn't worry about that, man. We are persistent.
Okay. Man, I was really hoping she'd be hiding in this village.
Yes, it's going to be too much work for you to find her. Better for you to stay here, get a nice cozy fire going in the heater.
A failed electric neuron. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
What's further down the coast?
Not much. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time, even.
Why is it abandoned?
Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then.
So, they don't hold services there anymore? The Ecclesiastes?
No, they've tried, but things just keep happening.
What else
Crime,
is down the road, down the
accidents,
coast?
other things. The place never stays open. It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church. Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of houses, empty.
Anything else of note?
Of note? The old fish market up on the boardwalk, but it's closed.
Okay. There's got to be more along the coast.
What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a development opportunity, you can check out the abandoned building over at Land's End. Used to be a supply depot, we think, sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jammed shut though. We tried to get in, See if there was anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible.
Nothing is impossible, surely.
And now you know everything there is to know about this coast.
Okay. Few more questions about Ruby.
What more do you want to...
Okay.
Yes, one
Goodbye.
thing. She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
Okay. Explore the coast for signs. Is there anything back here? I guess not. Fish market.
You see, a once bright mural, a slogan used to intertwine above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. Feld Electrical. How ironic. All these dark rooms. Feld Electrical, you only know them as a small company that makes ink cartridges. Looks like they used to be big. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first.
Could Ruby be in there?
In there? She could. Or she could be in the identical room over there. Or in that boat shack. In that church tower, maybe.
Why single out this one building?
Shivers to listen to the wind. I need more shivers. 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 Let's listen.
The once bright mural towers above you.
Impossible,
saying,
20.
Feld Electrical, R&D. Tomorrow is just a whisper away. Even though you're sure you succeeded, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down. The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb. Trying to talk to the wind, the city, whatever you thought would happen, did not. And now you're just standing there in the dusk hour, with your hands fallen to your side, Is trying to talk to the city something you've done before? Is it in your secret repertoire?
Could she be
A trick for
anywhere?
when you're out of ideas?
How do we find her?
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We've already talked to the cryptozoologists. Working with them might give us a good excuse to run around, give us some structure. And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village.
Okay.
Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you. An adventure awaits. An adventure on the windswept urban coast.
Listen to the wind again.
Suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in front of you in her breath, flowing through it. In through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below the boardwalk, its winding tunnels, a whisper away.
What is happening?
She's down there.
I think she's down there, below this building.
Okay. Why?
The wind told me. I've been getting these strange cold spells.
Good, good, yes. Cold spells. So basically your hangover is telling you she's down there?
Yes, I literally talk of my hangover. That's how bad it's gotten. Call it a gut feeling.
So, how do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically.
Finally, my time to shine.
Ladder? Climb?
Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old, and I plan to live to see 70.
Okay. Let's climb some ladders.
A rusty ladder leads to the rooftop. Some of the rungs are missing.
Yeah, that doesn't look good at all.
Assess the situation.
The distances between the remaining rungs are rather wide. You'd have to use the mounting brackets. However, they seem corroded and the peeling rust is razor sharp.
Yikes.
In addition, the first rung is going to be tough to reach. It's what, 3 meters above the ground? And you're 180?
180 seems about right.
Not to mention that the roof is collapsing and the wind gets pretty brutal up there. Dismounting from the ladder is going to be hard. Perhaps if you were to not climb the ladder. Instead? What if you were to do something more subtle?
No, what?
What if you were to reconceptualize climbing the ladder?
What if I don't climb? What if I just teleport?
Teleportation is not a thing.
Just need a bit of concentration. Where's your adventurous spirit?
This really has nothing to do with adventure. We are dealing with basic physics here.
It won't hurt to try.
Oh yes, it could hurt. A lot.
Teleport to the roof. Let's teleport to the roof. Yes. +1.
The rusty ladder leads to the rooftop.
92.
All you need to do is close your eyes and concentrate. Darkness enfolds you. You can feel the distance between the bench and the first rung of the ladder. All you need to is...
do it.
Zoot, zap, pow, crinkle. It's like magic. You feel yourself disappear, your atoms fading out of existence.
Okay, well, that's impressive, but...
Bam! You find yourself on the roof, having mastered the art of physical displacement.
Don't gloat. Just stand there like a samurai master. I did it, Kim. I teleported.
I just saw you climb the ladder. You just climbed it like a regular person.
No, not like a regular person. Like a phase spider.
Phase spider.
The wind at the top of the building starts howling loudly, blowing away the lieutenant's voice. Faintly you hear.
Never mind. Find a way to let me in when you get inside. Don't go adventuring with a backup, especially if we think the suspect may be hiding here.
Alright, alright. I guess it's flashlight time. I can barely see out. Can I use this? Find anything? Postcard. Barely squeeze by. Office furniture. Documents. Apartment. No one slept here in months, maybe years. Revolutionary's hat. Same slit window you saw from outside.
Could this have been the killer's hideout? And this narrow window, the point of origin of the shot that killed the mercenary? This does look like an embrasure, a slit made for shooting out of. The lights of Martinez shine coolly in the clear
Could this have
night.
been a good hideout for a sniper?
It's a good place to hide, but doesn't look like anyone has stayed here in a while.
Alright. Is it feasible to hit a target in the whirling in rags from this window?
No, it's not. No matter how you crane your neck, you can't see the whole of the whirling in rags. And certainly not the relevant segment of the top floor. A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. A plaque reads, K. Mazov. There is a spiderweb in the lower left corner of the portrait. Years' worth of dust is shaken off. The full head of hair, matched by an ample moustache and sideburns, look a bit silly. Someone crouches, heels digging into wet sand. Hands sweep across the sand, grains sticking to the frayed skin of the fingertips. An old man sits on a slab of concrete and taps his fingers against the glass of a scope. You shudder.
Okay. Can we let Kim in somehow? Ah, here.
Two rusty metal plates that slide apart form a crude door. It's...
Well, hello there.
The doors seem to be on rails, but they've gotten jammed. You grab a side and put some strength into prying it open. With the help of your partner, the two metal panels slide open with a creak.
Huh. I hope no one dangerous heard that.
How did you even get here?
After you climbed up to the roof, you mean? There's a maintenance entrance under the boardwalk. It's next to a drain pipe, possibly a storm drain. It was easy to miss.
Could have saved me the effort.
At least now we have an exit, so let's get going. It's time to investigate these passages.
What is this? Glass. Ooh. Suggestion jacket. Does Kim have something to say about this?
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted.
Some radical or radicals were hiding out here. They left a long time ago.
How long?
Half a century? This was probably part of the network of defense posts the communards built against the amphibious landing. I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. It would have had radio equipment back then, but that's all been looted.
Maybe I should move in here, seems cozy.
I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case.
Okay. Could it be connected to the Mazov bust we found in the students' room?
Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like some student. The youths always go for this kind of stuff.
What's with all these secret weapons, caches and secret bunkers?
We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends to linger in rundown neighborhoods. Martinez being what it is, no one has gone through the trouble of cleaning out the old bunkers.
Good hiding place for someone who's up to no good.
Okay.
You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
Okay, let's go. Footprints. One soul appears to more warrant than the other. Ah. One is collapsed. It's getting louder, the buzzing sound.
There it is again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange tingling you can almost
Do you feel
smell.
something?
No, what do you mean?
Pain, strange tingling.
I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh.
Footprints with the right sole worn smooth.
Looks like our suspect. If she's in here, we need to plan our next step carefully. Once we detain a credible suspect, who knows what the Union and the Wild Pines will do? We'll set in motion events we have no control over.
You will upset the balance of power in Martinez. The deadlock between the company and the Union will destabilize. This part of town is a fine clockwork puzzle. Disturb its peace and it will start breaking down uncontrollably.
No.
Keep calm. Go over the whole situation in detail.
How bad do you think things could get?
Well, we are not responsible for what we can't predict, are we? I don't think the entire city will be razed to the ground.
If you can't predict it, there's nothing you could have done.
What do you think is waiting for us there?
I think I see a cavern. Maybe more cellars? I think we've been careful enough. We still have the element of surprise.
I wouldn't be so sure. You haven't exactly been sneaking.
Or maybe not. Either way, once we go deeper, there will be no turning back.
No turning back. Money. Any bottles? Nope. Let's put reaction speed in use. Could be useful. Pain threshold.
Suddenly, your entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear a woman's voice.
What?
It's like 1,000 radio stations are being blasted into your head all at once. But her words are the only ones you can make out.
What the hell?
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll just make it worse. Can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance. But here we are.
As she says the word officer, you feel a spike in the agony. It sounds like the entire
I should have worked that
rage is screaming directly
headphones
into your neural pathways.
Cover your ears. Ouch!
No, buddy, that's not going to help. You can't shield yourself from this. It's an entirely new type of experience.
My brain's
way
on
worse
fire.
than all the previous ones.
Are you gonna kill me too?
No, I'm not going to fucking kill you. If that had been my plan, you'd be dead already. All things considered, I'm being pretty reasonable here. I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your partner have been caught in its field.
Okay.
A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale, literally crunch the distance across it. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. Needless to say, the frequencies used are out of this world.
Alright.
At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear, or think you're hearing, local radio chatter.
She likes telling you about the machine. Keep her talking. Look
What's
for
this
opportunity to
goddamn
break
pail
news.
anyway?
The Pale? It's the end of the world.
How did you get your hands on this thing?
I built it myself.
And she's proud of it too, as she ought to be. This is way beyond your abilities.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Way beyond.
Please turn it off.
You're big boys. You can handle it. Stop being so damn melodramatic.
Numbers.
This.
God damn it. Fine, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
The gun she's carrying is a two-barreled front loader, not like the murder weapon. Well, it doesn't feel much better, but she can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much. There's only 3 meters between you and the machine. If you keep her distracted for long enough, maybe.
Cannot be retried 83%. Destroy the machine.
The violent white noise becomes even more overwhelming closer to the compressor. Feels like your brain is swelling up in your skull.
Hosts will try to have an apocalyptic vision.
Officer, are you okay?
Don't worry, Keeman's trying to have an apocalyptic vision.
The pain intensifies as your hands attempt to reach out into the pale chaos.
What are you doing? I told you it's best not to move.
Just trying to collapse.
Look, I know this isn't very fun for you, so let's wrap this up. You have a tribunal to attend.
She knows about the tribunal.
Did you shoot Lily?
No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes much of a difference to you. Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first.
Classy.
Oh, I knew the kitten had claws, but not like this. But she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me?
Grown boys told you were on the coast.
My boys?
Rudy boys, formerly the Hardy boys.
What? I don't even understand what you're trying to get at here. Oh, doesn't even matter. How can they be my boys when they're not even my friends? Those guys liked me, I know it. This is what happens to people whom people like. How the fuck do the rest of you get by?
I opened them up.
I did, didn't I? Now you've come for me. Fuck them all the same.
Asking questions, and I have some for you.
Like what? I already told you I didn't do it.
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
Do you have an alibi?
Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon you.
Chemist they couldn't account for.
You mean the length of a toilet break? That wouldn't even have been enough time.
No one takes a 15-minute leak.
Look, fuck you, man. I might also have stopped by the bar.
Would you say that Lily was a likable person?
I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types.
Do you feel sympathy for the mercs?
Plenty of broken people who don't come with that kind of body count. Besides, they're paid well for what they do.
Did you feel protective of the Union?
Yeah, sure. And I didn't like Wild Pines sending in those foreign hirelings. Me and a fuck ton of other people around here.
Conclude.
I'm listening.
You have a gun.
And?
Where did you get it?
The gun store.
What gun store?
Trigger Happy Jacks.
Really, Trigger?
What did you think? That I'm going to squeal on my gun supplier? Sorry, not that kind of gal.
Do you have another gun somewhere?
Sure don't.
A breech loader?
No.
This is such a wipeout.
No, they're not practical. Break too often.
Okay, conclude.
Yeah. Evidence. Yeah? Where?
More questions before doing anything.
Who killed the merc if it wasn't you?
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I got to him, and there hasn't been any useful gossip over the radio.
Those rings around her eyes, her tired voice. She's been staying up late, listening in on the conversations crisscrossing Martinez.
Police radio? You've been following the case?
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Claus's room, lying on his side. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while. Tribunal is an awfully fancy word for what they're going to do. But yeah, I was listening to their frequency. They've finished their investigation. Now they're gonna put on a show before meting out punishment. Even though those assholes gave me up, I'm worried for the boys. And you, watch out for yourselves. You seem to have a habit of walking into traps.
They're planning to set up a trap for us?
I'm guessing you don't know that a third mercenary has come to town just in time for the tribunal. Now you do.
Oh no.
If one hornet can kill 40 honeybees in a minute, then 3 hornets should be able to kill 120 honeybees in a minute, or more, since they'll also be covering one another.
A third. Ah, this is bad.
As I said, watch out.
The pain is becoming unbearable now.
How did you know we were coming?
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while.
By hiding bullets under floorboards?
So you found my shack, huh? I'm not surprised.
She didn't rat you out.
So nice. That's one knife I didn't want to find in my back.
Why hide bullets?
This could have turned out pretty bad for me if you hadn't walked right into 25 bands of ultra-high frequencies.
That's her admitting the bullet was an emergency exit.
Tell me your version.
She eyes you warily, as though gauging your sincerity.
It's okay. We just want to...
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over a few beers, like always. Then Klasya comes in, all pale and shuddering. She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her.
Did she also seem high to you?
Oh yeah, super. But I didn't think too much of it at first. I'd seen her party hard before.
You knew something was wrong immediately.
No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. It wouldn't be a first for her. But no such luck. She was in some deep shit. She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead. I knew she couldn't get the authorities involved, so yeah.
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
How did you manage to come up with a plan so quickly?
What? No. Faking a lynching was her idea.
Her idea?
Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got up there. It was like she was another person. The party girl was gone. She asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck to fake lividity. Then she dressed him while I went to get the Hardy Boys.
Resourceful.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether to admire her or be disturbed.
Do you think she could Lily herself?
And potentially bring attention to herself? No. Besides, the shot was made from a distance. Otherwise, we would have heard it downstairs.
She's right. No one mentioned hearing shot. The shot didn't come from the roof. But even if this is true, weren't you worried this lynching might lead to...
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions either way. Although the way things are going, fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me.
If you didn't kill him, why hide?
I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a goddamn La Puta Madre agent.
So this is what she was scared to tell Titus. This cop.
What do you mean?
Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon, his human can opener.
Whose?
Through the sudden sharp pain in your head, you hear the lieutenant mumble something to himself. Fucking hell. And why me? You hear through the white noise. It's especially bad suddenly. Felt like a vein exploded.
How do you know this?
Everyone in Jamrock. The cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm holed up in here with a goddamn death ray waiting for you?
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
I don't even know who La Puta Madre is. Oh, my name.
Harry Dubois. One corrupt motherfucker with a disco pants and a funny tie. Agent to La Puta Madre.
All of this just means that you're effective. Criminals know you and are scared of you.
Who's La Puta
Right.
Madre?
Sure. You don't know.
I lost my memory.
Yeah, sure.
She doesn't believe you.
I'm sure La Puta Madre himself will explain it all to you soon enough.
What did you do to this mother anyway?
You know what I did. I fucked him over. And now I have Harry Can Opener in my lair. Fucking Titus.
Wait, one thing. Possibly small, but she said you rolled into town. Was that you singular or plural?
Yeah.
She might know something.
When I came into town, was there anyone with me?
Yeah, you had your death squad with you. What happened to them anyway?
I don't know.
Sure you do. I bet they're just outside waiting. I guess I'll take my chances.
Who is in the squad?
Well, it wasn't this scrawny dude. You had two guys and a lady. The guys looked pretty buff. Lady wasn't bad either.
What else can you tell me?
One of the guys seemed chipper, a blonde. The other had a brooding something or other about him. And the woman was the only one in uniform. All were carrying. That sound about right?
No idea who these people are, literally.
Doesn't ring any bells.
Well, this has been a great talk, really. But I think I'm going to hit the road now.
She means it. You better make your move soon.
What bunker?
Communist hideout.
Don't know anything about it. No one's been around since I set up camp. But I'm sure I'm not the first vagabond to...
Oh, I'm dying.
Keep calm. Breathe.
Glad to have been of assistance. Best of luck to you,
82%
officers. Revishal's a
fail.
bitch.
The woman runs past you and disappears into the darkness of the tunnel.
Could have went better. It ended.
All things considered, it could have gone worse.
Shouldn't we go after her?
No, I don't think she did it. She's someone else's case now.
It's too late now, anyway.
What now?
Now we have to come up with a really good excuse for why we walked right into a trap like that. This isn't going to look good in the report. Her tent. Maybe there's something in there.
Owie. That hurt. Oh. Heal. No way out. Porridge with bananas.
The plain red tent stands by dispassionately. It was pitched by practiced hands. She's used to camping out.
Look inside.
The tent looks old, but well maintained. In the darkness of the tent, a rolled up sleeping bag, cooking utensils, some books, and a kerosene lamp. It reeks of cigarettes.
Shiny flash out of the books.
Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
See anything?
Shift through the magazines.
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine, it's a leather notebook.
Take it.
You pocket the worn brown leather journal.
We should read this immediately, like right now.
Right now.
The plain red, it was pitched.
Nothing else.
A thick journal. The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket.
Examine cover.
It's made of full grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name. Schneller. Schneller is a stationery brand from Gottwald, beloved among architects and engineers. She's got good taste and must have taken whatever she recorded here seriously.
Okay, move on.
The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled.
Study handwriting.
The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently, perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margins.
Flip through the pages.
It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
It's good she left in a hurry. We could learn a lot from this.
Anything personal?
Short, wry observations of people and places, probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them.
Okay. What are the diagrams of?
Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape.
Okay. What kind of logistics?
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes.
Okay.
I can give this to her after we finish this.
How far back do these entries go?
The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable.
What did she write the day Lily died?
Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely. You have no idea what she means. These are personal notes. Don't expect to understand all of it. That name isn't mentioned as far as you can tell. Small wonder. Would you talk about La Puta Madre in your journal? You do see an M, though. La Puta Madre. M is mentioned on March 9th and March 15th.
What is it?
Great. M's peon is coming to town, no doubt to investigate the lynching. But also, I feel it in my gut to finally put a bullet in my head while I'm napping in my lorry or on a smoke break. Well, I won't stick around just to twist my own neck by constantly looking over my shoulder. Then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since I got the call? The call? Did M call her personally? Why? Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. They will rat me out, of course. I've made it a point to believe in the best in people, the boys, for example. But experience tells me, did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. Even I know that. Economic measures, first of all. Gotta make a living, right? I can still hear his voice in the receiver. Taste the plastic. The entry ends abruptly.
What about the most recent entry?
The most recent entry is from today. It reads, even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning.
It looks like she might have been framed.
Am I really a La Puta Madre agent? Maybe it's good that we didn't catch her.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that. We have other reasons to arrest her. Besides, I'm not sure her life as a fugitive is going to be much better than we does. Especially if she has problems with the Madre. No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure.
Who is La Puta Madre?
The head of a major Jamrock gang, specializing in drug production and trafficking. A very bad person.
Alright. Conclude. Then who do you think killed the Merc?
Could have been Titus. Then again...
But no one heard the shot.
Maybe there's a Hardy boy we've yet to meet, who acted as his accomplice. Either way, we need to keep an eye on him. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling in rags. Questions to ask. Let's be careful, though. The tip she gave us about the tribunal was disturbing.
Yes. Well, that's a good spot to end. Made a lot of progress. So let's continue from here next time. That's it.